Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be working on Chelsea's Mini again. Obviously last video that's what we were doing, fixing up for its MOT. As I mentioned before, these videos were recorded like New Year's Day onwards, so these are like really old videos now. So we're getting to the bottom of these and then we'll be uploading some fresh content soon, including Chelsea's TT, which you would have seen in this video over here when the unit flooded the other week. So as you would have seen from the intro in the beginning, I'd like to dedicate this video to my granddad, who tragically and suddenly passed away 2 weeks ago. He was the fixer of everything. No challenge was too big or too small. He'd give anything a go, and to be honest, I see quite a lot of him in me. I'm not a mechanic by trade, you all know that, but I'll still give it a go. And as this video proves, you know, I love a challenge. We had a very short amount of time to get the Mini ready, and I managed to do it, and, you know, did a good job doing it, if I do say so myself. And a few people have said that to me. So yeah, just like to dedicate this video to him. It's been a tough time, obviously. We were very close. And it's just been a horrible time with how sudden it was and everything like that. But yeah, he loved his tractors, he loved his cars, and I want to carry that on with me fixing cars and hopefully pass that down to my children one day as well. But for now, let's get on with fixing Chelsea's Mini and make Grandad proud. Okay, so I've pulled the old rocker cover gasket off. It's on the floor now. I've put them next to each other and they are the same, which is ideal. So I'm just putting the new one on now. They're really easy to put on. You basically just push in the gasket into the slot. The old gasket looked okay. The rocker cover's okay. I've cleaned the head. That all looks okay. So I'm happy that everything's okay. We just need to get this rocker cover on. We just need to get this rocker cover gasket on and yeah, go from there. So that is the rocker cover gasket on. It's all flat, it's all pressed in properly, which is nice. This gasket does come with the spark plug O-rings. I'm not going to change them because there's nothing wrong with these. When I changed them on my Mini, I had nothing but problems when I changed them. I think it's just aftermarket parts, or this aftermarket part is just a bit funny. These are the genuine Mini ones. You can see it written down in the actual rubber. So I'm just going to leave them because they're the genuine ones and these aren't. Just in case there is any issues, I don't really want to find them basically. So yeah, going to leave them for now. And what I will do is I'll put the O-rings in the car if we come to sell it, or I'll keep them in the spare parts bin if we keep it. So yeah, that's the rocker cover sorted. Obviously replace that gasket there. So I'm going to chuck it back on the car, put the bolts back in, but leave the O-rings out. So I've just been taking all of these little studs out of the rocker cover so that I can replace these little O-rings. And I think I've found the culprit of the oil leak. If I can focus it. See that? It's absolutely destroyed. I can't focus it. But yeah, you can kind of see there. It's bloody destroyed. So I think that could be the culprit of the oil leak. So the rocker cover is back on. All the ignition leads and whatever are pushed back in. All the vacuum hoses are back in place. I've just got to bolt in the injector rail, the injector wire and stuff, and obviously put the rocker cover bolts in once we've got the new seals. So that'll be a job for tomorrow. It's a little bit awkward to access, but I'll just pull the bits off. So that is actually 2 jobs ticked off the list for today. So next up, I'm going to replace the front brakes. I was going to say calipers, but the caliper is what failed, the near side caliper, so this one. That's what failed the MOT. But because we're doing this on a time restraint and on a budget restraint, we've obviously pulled them off my Mini. I'm going to chuck them on here. But when or if we do come to sell this, that will play into our favour because this car's had an R53 brake upgrade. My calipers are perfect. They're all right on my MOT. They don't stick or anything like that. So yeah, these have had a performance brake upgrade, which is nice. So yeah, we're going to put them on. That means I can get R56 calipers for my Mini. So yeah, once we've done the calipers and the discs and all that, and the rear hose for the offside rear brake hose. That's actually everything we can do today because I don't have the drop links or the ball joint yet. The only thing I've got to do then is tighten the exhaust bolts, which should take a couple of minutes. And then I've also got to obviously do the brake lines, which is the hard part. So once I've done the calipers and the hose, I'm going to crack on with looking at the brake lines. So it's Sunday the 2nd of January. I'm still COVID free. Chelsea still hasn't had a positive result back yet, but she's had 2 positive lateral flows. So she's not here with me today. I'm still well, which is good. But yeah, the O-rings for the rocker cover bolts came in the post this morning. So I'm going to fit them. I'm going to tighten up the exhaust bolts. I'm going to replace the rear brake hose, the flexi. I'm going to get the car up on 4 jack stands and check out the brake pipes, see how bad they are, see if we can just get away with joining them. I don't want to do that, but if it's going to be an easier option because it's only a small section of rust, then so be it. But that's pretty much all I can do for today. I'm waiting for tomorrow to go and collect some more brake pipe from Euro Car Parts, a outer ball joint, outer lower ball joint for the offside, and then also a drop link for the offside. So yeah, a lot of it is just waiting for tomorrow, but we're going to do as much done today as we can. One saving grace is that because Chelsea's got COVID, she obviously can't go to work. So on Tuesday, I will have the car for a whole extra day. The MOT is at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Chelsea was going to take it to the station, the MOT station, straight from work. But because obviously she's not at work, that means I get it for the day. So there's less pressure to get it done for Monday night, and I can now get it done for Tuesday night. So if something does take a little bit longer, then happy days. Now, I spent my isolation last night learning how to make brake lines. I watched a really good video from the Savage Garage. James, I messaged you on Instagram and just let you know how good that video was. But if you do happen to be watching this, I enjoy watching all your videos, but that video especially was really useful for me. So if you're interested in making brake lines, I'm going to make a dedicated video to it, and it'll probably be up before this video. No, Jack, it won't. I didn't make a dedicated video when I was doing it. I didn't have enough time, but my Mini does need its brake lines doing, so I'll make a dedicated video when we come to do those. If you want to watch that video and see how I learnt to make the brake lines, then please do. I'll leave it in the description. James, the Savage Garage video, really, really helpful. I'll also leave another video in the description which I used, which was some tips for making brake lines. So I watched James's video and learnt the basics, and then watched the tips video just to pick up some tips. So for now, I'm going to get the rocker cover bolts back in, get everything tightened up in the engine bay, and then we're going to work on getting the car up on axle stands, just so I've got good access to the underside to do the exhaust and also to do the brake lines. Okay, so I've got the rocker cover back on at this point. Everything's gone okay in there, and I'm currently taking the hard brake line off the flexi line at the back, so I can replace the hose and then in turn the hard brake lines. So I've got the old line off the car. As you can see, this is the bit where it goes into the brake hose, and it's a little bit rusty and crusty and horrible. This is the offside. No, sorry, this is near side. It's not too bad. I managed to preserve its shape a little bit, but obviously it's an MOT failure for a reason, so I am going to change it out. Okay, so my Euro Car Parts stuff is here. We've got 2 lots of 25 feet of copper brake line. Picked up one from Halfords and one from Euros. The one from Euros was 20 quid, the one from Halfords was 10 quid, and they're exactly the same. So that's where I'm getting brake pipe from in future. I've also got a bottom arm ball joint for the offside, I believe it is, but I will double check that. And I've also got a drop link for that side too. Okay, so I've tidied up some of this wiring down here. I couldn't actually see what the issue was. The test certificate stated that there was wires that were potentially going to touch and short out next to the brake cylinder, which is here. The wires were sort of strewn over here, so I have cable tied them up against this side of the car. And I've put some more electrical tape over them, but I actually couldn't see any exposed wires. There was some wires that weren't covered by electrical tape or, you know, loom wrap or whatever you want to call it, and it was the outer coating of the wire that was exposed from the loom tape or the electrical tape. And obviously that doesn't conduct electricity, because if it did, that wouldn't be great. So I'm a little bit confused as to why that was an issue. I'm hoping that the work I've done will fix it. I've covered up as much of the exposed wire as I can, so hopefully that'll be enough to get it passed. But now I'm going to crack on with the offside front bits. We've got the bottom ball joint and we've got a drop link to do. So the drop link fought me really hard trying to get it off. The bolts were just rounded off. They've never been changed in this car before. That fought me quite hard, but it's off now, and I've just managed to separate the lower ball joint. I'm really, really pleased I managed to do it, because it's really, really difficult, and I was ready to give up, but persevered, and there we have it. So if anyone's following along at home and doing this, pretty much what I did was I removed the 19mm nut on the bottom of the lower ball joint. It's very obvious to see. Wire brushed it and then removed it with the gun. That comes straight off. Then I removed the two 30mm bolts which are holding the ball joint into the hub, and then technically it should be free, but it obviously isn't, because I don't know whether they've ever been changed. This car's only got 87,000 miles on it, I think, so I don't think they've ever been changed. They certainly don't look like they've been changed anyway. From there I managed to get a pry bar underneath the hub and above the ball joint, and just keep working. A lot of heat. I didn't actually use any WD-40 because I don't have any. Owen's on the way up, and he's going to bring me some. But yeah, perseverance, a lot of heat, and yeah, it's off. I'm really, really, really pleased. Quite proud of myself that I managed to do it. And like I said, proud that I didn't give up, because I was very close to doing it. So now that is off, I'm going to put the new ball joint in place, get that all tightened back up to spec, get the brake disc back on, caliper back on. By the way, I took them off just because it made it a bit easier. Brake disc back on, caliper back on, pads back on, unbend the brake dust cover thingy. I couldn't actually take it off, the bolts are rounded. So I just bent it out the way, so I've got to unbend that, then fit the drop link back on, and then I think this is good to go, and we can then crack on with the brake lines, which I think is the last thing to do. Stay tuned. So as you would have seen, I have put the bottom ball joint back in, bolted it in, torqued it up, rebuilt the caliper, the disc, all of that fun stuff. I've also put the drop link in. That's nice and easy. It's just the complete opposite of removal. It's only 2 nuts. It all went back in fine. So this front side is done. That means there's one more thing left on the MOT failure list, and that's the brake lines. But you're going to have to wait for the next video. This video is already 16 or 17 minutes long, so I don't want to keep you around for much longer. But I do want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Obviously, there'll be the final of these 3 videos as the next video. Then after that, there'll probably be some work on Chelsea's TT. And then it will be getting the My Mini ready to go back on the road, hopefully for the summer, and for a road trip over to Ireland to see my granddad's grave. So yeah, hopefully get to work on the cars with the boys again soon. I know a few people have messaged me on Instagram, you know, have we fell out, or you know, what's going on, because you haven't seen Owen and Tyler in a while. No, we're still all good mates, and we will be working together soon. So as I said, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your time. I hope everyone's staying safe and well, and other than that, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.